So recently, I've been trying to get my girlfriend into gaming. So I wanted to start with Minecraft, as one typically does, right? But she was hesitant. For one, she's never really played games, so it's hard for her to grasp the controls and the universal, typically A or X or whatever is for jumping. The first person view is confusing for her, and it's hard to control walking and looking around. So games like I guess Fortnite will say it's hard to aim, walk, look, shoot. There's too many things all at once, especially for somebody that's never really played games. But there was something else just unrelated to her inexperience of games, and it was time. For her, she saw games as a waste of time, and it's just something to kill time when you have 50 other things to do and prepare for. Yet for me, I see it as an escape from that same very concept. So I asked the question today, is playing games a waste of time? Now, let me start out by saying everything I say here is obviously my opinion. It's all subjective. Think whatever you want to think. This is just me giving my 2 cents on the concept. So everybody's going to say it differently. So what's the main positives here? We'll go over three kind of overarching connecting things here. So the first one is fun. It's an escape and it's also rewarding. Let's start with fun. Games are meant for fun. They're meant to be fun. You play them to have fun or get some type of enjoyment out of. They take your mind off of the daily stresses and monotony. They're also used to feel some experience that you would never otherwise feel. You can't feel like a 16th century Viking anymore unless you watch a movie or play a game depicting that. I mean, you can role play, I guess, but that's different. It's hard to feel like a hero just as a regular person in this world. So, uh, uh, you know, games make you feel like a beast in some kind of way. Um, and winning in a game gives you some form of happiness, like progressing and becoming better at games gives you some form of happiness. But on the flip side of happiness, there's also an escape. And escaping it can be hard to do with so much that's happening in the world. Like there's too many things to do, too many things to look at. It's hard to escape from everything. And especially like the clutches of social media make it very difficult, especially for me personally. And any genre of game can be a way out. I mean, you can get lost in a massive world like Cyberpunk and just get lost in a different kind of escape, I guess. I don't know. You can farm peacefully forever in games like Stardew Valley or feel like a superhero playing Spider-Man or get lost in the emotional train wreck that is Red Dead Redemption 2. They put your personal feelings on the back burner for a little bit. It's a good way to wind down after a long day or night at work, whatever. You can kind of forget about your problems and get lost in somebody else's. And you don't really have to worry too much about them because at the end of the day, most of them are fictional characters, even though you can become attached to them. You can also attach some of your feelings or experience to others from these games that you play. So let's say it's the same as playing a certain song for a certain feeling. If you're feeling down, you can play a slower game to match how you feel, or play a faster paced shooter game to pick yourself up, just like you would with music. You kind of want to match the vibe, right? But you can pick yourself up in other ways, such as playing titles that make you feel rewarded. Games can supply you with dopamine that's otherwise very easy to obtain, but they come with their vices. There's a major supplier of that stuff that's not great for your brain. You might be watching this video on it. I mean, who am I to judge as if I don't use it 24/7? But the difference is that this is more rewarding dopamine because you feel as if you've earned it. That makes your brain enjoy playing games more because it's like there's a reward in it for you. There's a little treat, a little sweet treat or something. And you feel good doing it because you worked for it. It feels like you worked for it. It's easy to scroll through TikTok and just get stuck in an endless cycle. And then you kind of feel bad for being on it for 4 hours straight. So doing the opposite and working for it can feel nice sometimes. And other times, games give you too much stuff, which isn't a bad thing. Like, okay, it's okay to have a lot of options to choose from, albeit overwhelming at times. But there's another way to feel like you achieve something, and that's through trophies. You have trophies on Steam and platinums for PlayStation and all that, right? It can be fun chasing these like random one-off accomplishments most of the time to feel this ultimate rush that you've gotten all trophies for a game, to say that you fully conquered it in some way. And all these rewards keep you engaged. But that's not to say that all these positives don't come with their negatives. So we started this video with what happened, the whole scenario with my girlfriend. She felt as if it were a waste of time because she had never seen the point of playing them, which is completely valid because, to be fair, they can be at times. They can be tedious and boring. You can run the same routes to do missions, along with side missions that feel brainless, pointless. They're kind of like busy work. It's playing with no substance, essentially. And some of these achievements, you grind for them, and they're very difficult. And just to be rewarded with what, like a digital trophy, that sometimes that's not enough for people. And buying games that don't end up being fun sucks because now you're broke and you're not having fun. You feeling stuck on certain levels, or just the general I don't know what to do type of situations that come with games such as Mario. I don't know, that's the first one that comes to mind. Sometimes escaping by playing games can create further problems for yourself or your mental health. You kind of block out what you don't want to see or hear, and it's also easy to become overwhelmed with how much stuff there is to do. How many games there are to play, how many items there are to be obtained. And there's a lot of subject matter on this type of topic, and there's a lot to sway both sides of this debate, which way you want to go. So it's ultimately up to you to decide. And for me, games have always been a fun side hobby. I invest some time in games, sometimes more than others depending on the game, but lots of other time in other endeavors such as this, making this video. So I try not to let it eat away my whole day, usually, but I won't play anything if I feel as if I'm losing time or wasting time playing it. I'll just move on because I have to feel like there's a purpose to what I'm doing. And for me, that's the fun aspect. If I'm not having fun, what is the point of playing it? Because it used to be an escape, but now it's mostly enjoyment. Because escaping wasn't always the best thing for me. So it's nice to unwind after work, do something different, something I can't do in real life. Like, I don't know, be Spider-Man. Maybe I am. I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet. But anyways, what do you think? Which side do you take on this? Or are you like me? It's kind of both ways, kind of on the fence. You like games and play them, but you don't really devote your life to them. You do touch grass. You guys let me know. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.